Hey Hannah, how are you?
I'm good. I just finished making my Halloween costume. I'm going to be a strawberry.
Ooh, that's exciting. What are your plans for Halloween?
Well, I'm going home this weekend, and every year I go home to Fairview, and my nieces and nephews, they're in elementary school, and they have a downtown trick-or-treating. And so I go with them, and we go to all the different stores and get candy, and I get some candy too, even though I'm old. And they have, like, punch and cookies, so that's really why I go, to be honest. And then at night, we go to my grandpa's house because I live out in the country, so I never get to pass out candy. So then we go and pass out candy, and then I get to dress up, and like my brother, my mom, and we all pass out candy.
That's so exciting. Tell me about your nieces and nephews.
Well, one's 9, and the other's 10, and then I have one that's 13. So Chloe is in 8th grade, and Isaiah is in 4th, and Mariah's in 3rd. And literally since I was 7 years old, like, I've had nieces and nephews, and so, like, every weekend they're at my house. We do everything together. And honestly, that's probably, like, the main reason I go home from college is just so I can, like, spend time with them. Right. And so if I don't, like, come to their Halloween stuff or, like, soccer games, and they, like, call me to make sure I'm coming. So, like, especially for Halloween, they're like, come see us, and they want me to see what their costumes are this year. So I think Chloe's like a Ninja Turtle, and Isaiah is probably like a football player because he says he's going to play football for OU.
Right.
Which, I mean, OSU, but whatever. And then Mariah, I don't know. She's always switching between, like, good and evil. So she always wants to be, like, Maleficent. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but she, like, wants to be, like, the new version of that. Or, like, then she decides she'll be a Princess Fairy. So there's, like, a huge difference there. But I don't know what she'll be.
What she'll end up as. Well, you said that Chloe is semi-close to you in age, and it seems like they all are closer to you. How do you deal with the age difference? Because you seem to be semi-close to them in age. So does that, like, do you have good relationships, or what's going on?
Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's hard because you have to, like, have that balance of being, like, their close friend, but then also you have to look out for them. Like, Chloe, okay, she's 13, so she's always has, like, boy drama, and she has Instagram, and, like, sometimes she gets grounded from it, so she's not supposed to have Instagram. Or she's not supposed to have Snapchat. And then on Instagram, she'll post, like, her Man Crush Monday and act like she has a boyfriend. I'm like, you're 13 years old. I looked like a boy at 13, and you're, like, gorgeous right now and getting all these boys. And her mom's like, you're not supposed to have boyfriends. And so, I don't know. But then I want to be her friend and, like, not get her in trouble. But then I also want to be her aunt and be like, okay, you probably shouldn't do that.
Right.
But now the other two, like, they're a lot younger, so there's, like, my little buddies, but it's easier to, like, be their aunt and, like, not their friend all the time. Mm-hmm. But Chloe's just hard because, like, I was 7 when she's born, and my sister stayed with us when she was born because she needed help and stuff. And so, I don't know. Everybody says that she, like, looks like me and acts like me. So a lot of times, like, if she uses Snapchat when she's not supposed to, like, I just don't tell her mom. And we end up being, like, best friends. We're on, like, a 5-day streak or something. So right. I feel bad, but I don't know. Sometimes I just want to be her friend, not her aunt, so I can spoil her.
Right. Well, you said that your sister lived with you whenever she first had Chloe or was pregnant. Tell me about your relationship with her.
Actually, we're really close, even though she's 13 years older than me. So she just definitely was, like, very nurturing, like, always looked out for me. And I remember my brother got to sleep in my mom and dad's room, but, like, I guess they thought I had to be the mature one and had to sleep in my room. And I thought there's, like, people or monsters under my bed. And they, like, made me stay. They're like, this is good for you. Like, you can sleep with your stuffed animals. They'll protect you. Which, okay, whatever. Stuffed animals do not protect you. And, like, my sister, I remember one night she'd, like, sleep on the couch or something. I don't know. Because when she's pregnant, it's, like, harder for her to sleep. So she'd stay in there. And she'd, like, let me, like, climb on the couch with her or, like, sleep right beside her. And so, I don't know, she's, like, kind of babied me because my parents were, like, I was the older one of me, my brother, so they're like, okay, you need to be the grown-up one. And so my sister's kind of, like, looked out for me. And then as we got older, she was kind of, like, sassier to me. She called me, like, a brat and stuff. But now that we're older, like, it's kind of, we've gotten back to being close again, which is nice to have somebody like that because I just have my brother, so it's nice to have somebody have girl stuff to do.
Right. So you have a brother. Does he have the same kind of relationship with your nieces and nephews as you, or would you guys, like, do you balance off, or how does that work?
Yeah, I always joke that, like, I'm really strict because, I mean, my sister's a single parent, and she has 3 kids, so sometimes it's hard for her to, like, make them mind herself, you know, and then they don't have a dad, and so my brother kind of, like, to my nephew especially, he kind of plays, like, a father figure, I guess, because he just wants somebody like that in his life, and he really looks up to Josiah. But I always joke that, like, if people think I'm strict, like, you should meet my brother, because he's very just, like, very, like, you have to do what he says, and, like, they mind, though, and sometimes they're, like, my nephew, he's more excited to see my brother than me because, like, they can do boy stuff and all that, but we're both very close, and I guess since we were little, if my sister or mom had to do something, we just babysat them, and every weekend, like, we go to their soccer games or football games, and so they're basically, like, our little brother and, like, sisters,
Right.
more than, like, nieces and nephews, because we literally do so much together.
Have you ever compared the way that your relationship is with your nieces and nephews now compared to what it will be with your brother's children, considering that you and your brother are a lot closer in age than your older sister?
Yeah, actually, like, thinking about that, I feel like I would be even closer with my brother's kids, because we're so close in age, and, like, we do everything together, and we both want to take over our ranch, and so I think that, like, I'd be really close with his kids. But then I can't imagine, like, being any closer, you know what I mean, to, like, because I love them so much, and we do so much together, I can't imagine, like, being any closer. But what I think is cool is, like, the relationship that I have with my sister's kids is the one that, like, her kids will get to have with mine, because they're going to be so much older, and so, like, it's kind of weird, because they'll be, like, the aunts and uncles, kind of, to my kids, even though they'll be cousins. But I think that's so cool, like, they'll always have people, like, look out for them, and, like, I love that, and I know, like, my nieces and nephews will be excited to do that for my kids, too. So, I don't know, I think that'll be really fun.
That is very fun. Well, I hope you have a great weekend and have an exciting holiday with your family.
Thanks, you too, Kylie.